It's your boy, Trigger the Don. Happy 2026. Happy New Year, gang. I ain't seen you since 2025, gang. I know I've been slacking a little bit. I wouldn't say slacking. I've been working in the background, low key. Your boy about to move. It's a new year. There hasn't really been any news. You know, everybody's just slowly coming in, but never would I have thought that in 2026 I would start off the year with a My Hero Orange Justice video. I do know that the game drops on February 6th, but gang, I ain't gonna lie, the news and information on this game that has came out, I feel like, bro, they sucked at getting us information, at least in my opinion. Y'all could be wrong. I wasn't following this game heavy. Maybe those that followed it heavy may not feel the same way I feel, but I do feel like, bro, the information for this game, like, they was showing characters and it was just like, y'all showing them via what, Instagram and Twitter and stuff. Yeah, where's the vids? Where's the hype? I know they came out with a opening cinematic trailer, and I believe that might be it. I believe, I could be wrong. But gang, that's neither here nor there, bro. We are here to react to My Hero's Orange Justice. Some content creators like Afro and Globku got their hands on it. You know, I gotta react to the boy Globku. He loves his anime arena fighters, his anime games in general. He always breaks them down great. I'm gonna leave a link to his video in the description. I don't know if we'll really watch the whole thing. I might skip around some parts and cut some parts, but we'll see. I just want to see how exactly this game is looking, especially since it comes out in the next couple of weeks. Without further ado, if you like this type of content, make sure you leave a like and a comment. Definitely go check out their videos. Without further ado, let's watch this together, gang.
To story mode. The
Okay,
one mission
gang.
I got to play takes place right after
Yeah,
All
yo,
for
I
One defeats
finished My
All
Hero.
Might,
That's
and
my
Bakugo
question,
comes
bro.
in
Let
for
me
the
know,
rescue.
gang.
And the first thing that impressed me was actually this cutscene. Now, you
They
may
got
be watching it and
moving
thinking it
PNGs
doesn't
now?
look like much, but this animation, it might be replacing slideshows entirely. It doesn't replace
I
the
wouldn't
CG
be mad at
cutscenes,
this.
which are still in the game, and you're gonna see one very soon. But doing this style of animation in place of the usual anime game slideshows, it's so clever, and I would love to see it adopted across the
That's
entire
crazy,
anime game in
bro.
space. Imagine that instead of slideshows, you get this style every time. It looks so
That's
much
not
better,
bad.
and given how big this story
Not
is,
bad
I am
for
totally
anime
down to
games,
play the
I'll
whole
say.
story mode like this. And then we jump into the boss fight itself. We are using Bakugo here, who is a returning character from One's Justice 2, and outside of the tutorial, this is my first gameplay with All's Justice. And I gotta say, in this 1v1
Okay.
against All for One, the game
It's a
is feeling
boss
pretty
fight.
familiar if you've played the previous ones, but they have changed a couple of Bakugo's quirks, so the routes are very different. Now, I immediately noticed a couple of things that are
Okay.
exclusive to story mode. First of all for One seems to be permanently armored. This is something that's very easy to overcome. You just gotta hit him with an unblockable attack, and the armor is gone for the whole combo. But this is a gimmick that I'm not a big fan of when anime games
His
do
quirk
it. It
ones
feels
still
like
don't
a
connect
cheap
like
way
that?
to artificially make the fight tougher. Instead of making the AI smarter, you just give them armor and have them power through your attacks. I get using it here and there.
Yeah, I
when it
don't
makes
like
sense
that
because of what the
for
show
my
did,
anime
versus if
games,
you're going
but
up against
or
the
just
first
games in
noble
general.
that
If
invaded
armor's
UA
the
high school,
only
that
thing
dude was
that
so
makes the
beefy
battle
that, yeah, give him
hard.
super armor, make him feel that threatening. But I feel like this game just does that a little bit too much, because we're actually going to see it a lot in the next game mode too, and that makes
that a
me a
counter,
little bit worried.
or am I
Another thing
tripping?
I noticed was All for One himself, because this is not a character that you can select directly. You can become this form of All for One by using the Rising of All for One Young version, but this is a limited time state. So I love it when story modes just take these
Gotcha.
types of liberties. Otherwise, the story mode is just a glorified
So they
series
didn't
of
really
versus
need the
battles,
guard. They
and
just
that
need to make the
doesn't seem to be the case here.
CPU
Now,
smart.
armor aside, this boss was actually pretty challenging. It was getting down to the wire, super close, but I managed to clutch it out at the end, and that's when the game hits us with this full CG cutscene.
Okay. Okay. Yo. How did y'all feel when y'all saw this in the anime for the first time, gang? I was lit. I ain't gonna lie. Young Bakugo. Bakugo earned my whole love, even more love, I should say, and respect after this, man. He lost my points with that dying and coming back, but that ain't his fault. That's freaking the writer's fault. What's Bakugo's Japanese voice actor, bro? I love his voice acting. He voices so many other things. I think he voices
I don't know how
what's
many
his
of these
face
they've
in
done
Demon
for story
Slayer
mode,
with the
but
pig
I
head,
can't
bro?
wait to find out. I left this mode incredibly impressed. I was being
so
cautious
good,
because
bro.
even One Justice 2 has shown a lot of cinematic stuff in their trailers, and then it was mostly slideshows during the game. But here, so far, I have seen nothing but hype. How good the full story is gonna have to wait for the final game review, because now it was time to check out the Team Up Mission mode. This is the mode where they give you a whole virtual city to explore in free roam as you do different missions. The first thing I wasn't expecting is that this mode is actually menu based. From the trailers, I thought this would have a more traditional open world structure, but no, you gotta select your team and then selecting the mission you want to do. So it's less like an open world game and more like small stories played in a big sandbox. That said, once you jump in, it does
like
have
controlled
a few
open
there
world.
are collectibles, there are
Low
side
key.
missions, and there are a few buildings, but as far as I know, all the buildings do is heal you, because in this mode you will be fighting a lot and your health carries over from one battle to the next. So it's good to take a break, find a building.
So it's damn near like a moving arcade mode, bro. Is that what I'm getting from this? Just moving arcade mode, or?
And the heal is pretty much instantaneous. I got to play 2 missions. One of them I completed,
a mission
and
mode
the other
that you
one was
actually
about
gotta
finding all Class
run
1A
to.
members. So instead of trying to finish that, I thought it was a good chance to see what all of their movement abilities are in this sandbox, because every character has a different way to move around.
Gang?
Not everyone has an ability related to movement though. Some will give you locations of collectibles or side missions on the map. Others give you buffs for combat, but every character has something unique for sure. And this is important because before you select the mission, you get to select
other enemies in the background. Outside of Mina right here, you got like little rookie, or not rookie, whoever this is back here, little thug 1, thug 2 on the other side.
You're always going to play as Deku, but you can select the 2 other characters. This has to be done before joining the mission.
Another thing that I kind of like, the open worlds aren't empty, bro.
Because I didn't change it before joining this first
you see how the open world isn't just freaking empty?
Everyone else that played this demo. I'm not upset though, because Tokoyami is just straight up the best.
NPCs damn near everywhere outside of the roofs.
Going into this game mode, I thought this was going to be my favorite in the whole game. After playing it though,
was that just that one area?
Okay.
Let me not speak too soon.
The open world isn't satisfying enough to simply.
Yeah, ain't no NPCs over here, but it's nighttime. It's nighttime. It's a moving car though.
It ends up being something that simply exists to take you from point A to B. And when it comes to combat, it ends up.
That's nasty work. So it's not really true open world. They just have an open world. Somebody on PC version gonna crack this. I can already tell y'all that. So I ain't too worried about that. Granted, I ain't getting this on PC. I'm getting this on console. But somebody's gonna crack this, and you'll be able to probably go around open world and do more stuff. But it's controlled open world from what I'm seeing here.
Nor is the world interesting enough to be explored. So it ends up being something that simply exists to take you from point A to B. And when it comes to combat, I feel like they relied a lot on super armored enemies, as I previously mentioned. Except this time, the armor doesn't even go away if you hit the enemies with an unblockable. You gotta hit them with a whole plus ultra move. Now, don't get me wrong, this mode has a lot of fun gimmicks to combat that make it very different from story mode or versus battles. First of all, this is a mode where you get to fight against multiple enemies, and even the lowest thugs have some fun gimmicks. You put all of those gimmicks together, and you gotta be smart
enemies,
about who you target first and how you
got
move
his
around
little
the stage.
wind move.
Sometimes
it's not just like they're taking other characters' moves and putting them on the thugs. They actually have their own unique gimmicks.
You're fighting against multiple characters that you can select in the roster. So it's not just fighting against a bunch of thugs, it's actually fighting against multiple enemies with a full moveset. Plus, the fights may come with other unique fun gimmicks. For instance, in the mission where you find and train with all Class 1A students, their fights came with restrictions related to their quirks. Tsuyu can go invisible, so I had to fight without seeing the HUD. Ida is fast, so we had to fight without dashing. Kirishima is manly, so we had to fight without blocking or dodging. And I love when games do these gimmicks to break up the monotony of battle. I just wish they didn't rely on armor so much to make things harder and instead focused on making the AI
the armor isn't really battles, making it hard. It's just kind of annoying.
Racing challenges too. There's a mission where you got to make your way through this alley of obstacles that I found pretty challenging. That was a cool one.
So they put some kind of thought and gimmicks into it, bro.
Gimmick already, meaning there was no need.
It's not just run around, punchy, fight at the end of the day.
And on top of that, each mission is fully voice acted, and it comes with its own mini
smoke
story.
Screen.
This is actually the game mode that I'm going to do a deep dive of in tomorrow's video. So if you want to see an extended cut cut of both of these missions, don't forget to subscribe and come back to the channel tomorrow. Or you can watch it right now if you hit that join button. That said, despite being slightly
y'all go hit that join button for that boy Globku.
Exploration is in this mode, I don't think by any means that this is a bad game mode at all.
It'll
Especially if you
move
think of it as something
Damn,
they're
they're
doing
playing
on
Sonic
top
06
of
with
what
that
seems to be a
speed,
pretty
boy.
beefy story mode already. I just thought this would be the main attraction, but now it doesn't really feel that way anymore. On the other hand, I was pleasantly surprised by the
Yoma going
Diary.
crazy.
This is one of the modes you unlock after you beat the previous mode, the team up battle, where you get to pick one of your classmates.
You can beat the mode. I thought it would just been a whole bunch of different missions. Mostly be a bunch of dialogue scenes at a cafe, kind of a visual novel style, but turns out there's some dialogue, but there are also some gameplay challenges on each character. I got to see 3 characters. Minata's challenge was a race climbing a building. Kirishima was 2 battles, one against Tetsu and another one against both Fat Gum and Sun Eater at the same time. And then Ashiro was about finding some lost cats and then fighting against the Nomu. My one pet peeve is that none of these were particularly challenging. This is a mode that is unlocked after beating team up missions, and I just praised the difficulty in that Aizawa chasing section. Anyone that cleared that is gonna find this Minata challenge boring. As far as the stories go, so was the team up battles more interesting and harder compared to this? This was probably just for the fans. I feel like so Diaries is probably just for the fans, for the real fans. It's probably not for just your actual casual gamers.
I wasn't expecting
I hope it doesn't get locked behind certain stuff, like characters and stuff aren't locked behind. Did they confirm if characters are just gonna be that you just gonna have every character at the beginning? You get to choose if you want to go through the story mode stuff, or are we gonna have to unlock characters? I feel like they might go to unlock character route just so that people aren't just focused on playing free battle and online, to actually make people play like the other modes and get a good grasp of them before they go to judging
out of this game mode, but I left this event really curious to see more. And for the rest of this preview, they let me play as many matches against the CPU as I could before my time.
I gotta throw Mirko on the team.
What I thought of the combat system itself, the characters, and what I think the online is gonna look like. Obviously, these are all very early impressions, and my experience is only against the CPU, but I do have a lot of experience in both One's Justice games, as well as Arena Fighters as a whole. And this will mostly be aimed at players
Armor all might look like going crazy.
Online, or even competitively in tournaments.
I hope online is good, bro. I hope it's not none of that freaking.
The game does have simple control schemes that allow you to do full combos with only one button, but for every single one of my matches against the CPU on max difficulty,
infinite combo BS, bro. That's what really kind of turned me off from the other One's Justice games, bro.
Options and things I could do with each one, even with the most straightforward characters. This is not a game that you can just go in the character select, pick your favorite hero, and immediately know how to play them. All of these characters are going to need practice. They're going to need lab time, even the ones you have played in previous games.
I like the sound of that.
And a lot of it is because of the rising system. Risings are so unique for each character that you actually need to stop and read descriptions if you want to know what they do. It is never a universal thing. It's never just
I like the sound of that.
Or a simple character effect. That might be a part of it, but it's not everything. Sometimes there's a full list of moves for quirks that change, or straight up new quirks that you only get once you activate Rising. And everyone also gets a new
that makes me question
I haven't even
how much is Rising going to be active?
Full character transformations in some cases. Sometimes you see that transformation visually, but others, even if the model doesn't change, the gameplay changes so drastically, it feels like you're playing someone else. And it's going to take you multiple games with the same character to finally figure out what you're supposed to do and get comfortable with the system. Now, if you just heard that and you're feeling like this is a very scary game to get into,
crazy.
I get it, but to me, it's a dream come true. We are talking about a game with 68 characters at launch, all with unique attacking moves, all with unique quirks, all with unique risings. There's very little copy paste between the different characters, and they all
sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun, bro.
Powerful gimmicks. I think that's something.
Is he throwing down like thread machines, bro?
Longevity. For weeks, if not months after launch, this is gonna be a knowledge check.
What is it even doing?
Someone's gonna hit you with something so wild, you're not gonna know how to play against it because you've never seen it before. You're gonna think it's broken and overpowered, and as soon as you start using it, or as soon as you learn how to deal with it, you're gonna get hit by something else. And the reason why I think that's a lot of fun is because that also means that there's a lot here in this game for you to discover in
he
this
can
Hero
control
Form.
you, so
And
I'm
this is
wondering
all
how his
before
rising
we
is
even
gonna work, because I
dive
see
into
these
the
little
tag
red
system,
orbs.
because the tag system also
Was that even his? Hold on.
we even dive into
that's-
the tag system, because the tag
This Shigaraki's all
and
for
this
one
is all
chaos,
before we
his
even
rising.
dive into the tag
I want to see
system,
what
because the
Shinso's
tag
is,
system
bro.
also feels incredible. You can tag for so many reasons, for combo extensions,
boy
for
Stain.
simply managing your health, but even defensively, you can tag while blocking. You can also, for instance, apply pressure by throwing a big move, tagging and moving behind that attack with another character, because the first character will always finish their move before going away. There's just a lot you can do with this tag system. It feels incredible right now, and this is only the beginning. And I think because of
fighting
how much
game
you can
stuff
do in this
right
game
there,
already,
gang.
they had to remove a few systems that were present in the previous games. I've talked about the double jump already,
Nimbu.
but there's no dash canceling anymore, because you got so many ways to extend combos. That would
Headshot
honestly be a
looks
little
fire,
too much.
bro.
Combos would last forever with dash canceling. But it also doesn't seem to be any more wall fighting anymore, or at least not as much as before.
I'm not
It was
mad at
hard for
that.
me to
Wall
confirm that
fighting
it's
was just a
completely gone, but I
gimmick
also think
in the
wall
first one.
fighting
It wasn't
always
like
a
they
bit
had
janky in
like
previous games,
ninjutsu
so I
or
like this
something.
change a lot. They
Felt
also
like they was
removed a lot of
playing
the
on
more
Naruto
gimmicky
on
stages,
that one,
so
bro.
the stage selection is
cool,
actually a lot smaller
but,
this time around, but I think it's more solid than before. That's not to say they are all just plain arenas. Camino Ward, for instance, has this huge indestructible tilted building right in the middle of it. The Gunga Mountains have different ground levels and loads of rock obstacles, and these are definitely going to be annoying to play against certain players in ranked matches, because you know they're going to hide behind a rock and throw tracking projectiles. But I feel like they removed stages that just had a lot of
range
destructible
characters
objects
probably
that caused
gonna be
more glitches and
crazy
visual
in this
noise than
game.
anything else. And yes, they also removed Plus Ultra 2s, the more cinematic Plus Ultras, but this is still going to be a very high damage game. I'm mostly just getting stray hits here and there and dropping a lot of combos as I'm exploring these characters.
I got
And I'll be
full
posting these
Colin
matches
Deku
in
in here. Is Ari on his back? Well, he just moving.
full throughout this week, so you'll get to see more.
That's
of this.
crazy.
But when we start practicing our combos, I mean, look at the damage Muscular is dealing here. And I could have still used tag.
Yeah,
and
that's
plus
some fighting
ultras with
game
different
shit
characters,
right
'cause
there.
you can
Throw
do
out the
plus ultra
assist
after
switch.
plus ultra after plus ultra. You can throw
That's
3 of them in a
fire,
row if you
game.
have the meter, of course. I would not be surprised if there are a ton of TODs in this game.
So instead of
I
infinites,
genuinely
we
do
gonna
not
have a
think
lot of
this game also
TODs
needed
in
plus
here
ultra
once people
2s.
figure that
I understand the
out.
fan service side of it, but I'm also not going to sit here and pretend like those were some very hype animations, because those were never at the level of like a CyberConnect 2 or an Arc System Works. It was
Speaking of CyberConnect 2, where my JJK game at, gang? Y'all on the time clock. Y'all on the time clock. February approaching. I better see more teasers. I'm ready. Where's my JJK game? I'm not playing.
a mid animation at best. And I think if the combat system doesn't need it, then it's a good thing they're gone. But that's just my take on it. It's also a game where if you block an attack, you will still take a ton of chip damage. So overall, it feels like it's going to be a
Lame.
very fast-paced game, and characters are going to drop quickly one after
Yeah,
another.
but
also
I mean,
noticed how
if you got
strong
3
zoning feels in this
characters,
game.
that
If
makes
your character
sense,
has fast
though.
projectiles, I feel
Because
like
I was
they
definitely
may
thinking
actually
like
just
matches
lose.
was gonna
Not
be
only
long, but
because
if you
it doesn't
take
seem
chip
to be any
damage,
universal way to deal with projectiles,
that
other
makes
than
a lot
just
more
using very good
sense. You
movement.
probably gonna
But
want to
also,
switch
thanks
a
to the tag
lot
system,
in here.
You can shoot a projectile and confirm into a full combo by tagging your next teammate. They will show up at the enemy's location. And
Lady
extend that
Nagan
combo
is
for you.
definitely
So
gonna
the
be on
amount of
the
damage you
squad,
can get
bro.
from a straight
Love her.
projectile hit is now higher
Love
than
her.
ever before. Once again, these are all very early impressions, but I definitely left this session super optimistic about this game.
Oh, they got Izuku Rising? Okay. Little ending Izuku, bro. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like I said, bro, I'm not going to go through the entire video. Just the main stuff, the story, team up mission, hero's diary, and just learning some things about the combat, which I think Gaku said somewhere in his video that he is going to go more in depth. So make sure y'all check out his videos throughout the week. This is probably gonna be the only video for me, just because I don't want to see too much or hear too much. I just want to go straight into the game, especially if I'm gonna get it, because I ain't sure I'm gonna get it, but or at least I'm gonna get it, but I don't know if I'm gonna get it at the beginning. We gonna see, bro. We gonna see, bro. Without further ado, man, let me know how y'all feel, man. Are y'all messing with this My Hero All Is Justice game? I feel like they pulled out all the stops to make it a good finale game to the All Is Justice series. Who knows if they'll make another one after this? I doubt it. It seems like they pulling out all the stops. We got the ending battles and everything. I doubt they do anything else. I know they did say pre-orders was up. We got a 5-character DLC pack and whatever the case may be. That's about it, man. Without further ado, man, it's been your boy Trigger the Don. I like what I've seen so far. It's definitely gonna be something on my list. Without further ado, I catch y'all in the next one. Nordic Kingdom Heart Sounds. Peace.